thank you for tuning into the first episode of the Who Are They podcast. We're really excited to have you here, but before we get started, we wanted to let you know that there are some portions of this podcast where we talk about different videos and photos. We do our best to describe them, but they are also available on our Instagram page for you to watch as well under the handle of who_are_they_ with a 0 for the O in the word who. If you'd like to watch the video version of this podcast, we have a YouTube channel with the same username. Lastly, there is a portion of this podcast where we tell a story towards the end where when we were recording, we left the name of the person in this podcast. As we were editing, we decided that we should probably take it out. So if you're watching and it starts to sound a little bit choppy during one of our stories, that's exactly why. But again, we're happy to have you here. We're excited to get started, and we hope you enjoy. Welcome to the first podcast of Who Are They? I'm Bailey.
And I'm Abby.
And we're just really excited to be here.
We gotta learn not to interrupt each other, actually. That's rule number 1.
We do. I think that's going to take a minute to do.
I think it really will.
We'll get there.
I can't believe this is real. We were going to start this podcast probably 2 years ago, actually. Maybe 3.
Yeah, because we have notes in our phone that detail all the plans for this podcast, and those are at least 2 years old.
Yeah. Anyways, we thought we would come on with our little intro beginning today and explain kind of our name and what we want for this podcast.
Right.
Do you want to start?
No, I want you to start.
Okay, good, because I have thoughts. Okay. So, our name is Who Are They? And personally, I don't know about you, Bailey, but I think about this 2 different ways, probably. Okay. The first one is like just normal. Like, who are they? Like, who are those weird girls that they're just here to talk into their microphones and like for the kicks and giggles? Okay.
Right.
Like, we're 2 totally random people. That's one. 2 is like, in college, we used to always hype each other up. So let's say I did something like so cool, or let's say Bailey did something so cool, or she like looked really good and was like, I don't know, whatever. Okay. The girls we would live with, we would always be like, who is she? And so that's another way I think of it, is like, who are they? Oh my gosh, they're finally starting their podcast. That's so cool of them.
I was thinking of it as the exact same way as you. You know, who are they? Because literally we don't have any following. Nobody really knows who we are. And we're just like, let's start a podcast. But like, kind of just talk about ourselves.
Right.
And hopefully people are like, oh, who are they?
Right.
Like,
right.
intrigue. Maybe the question mark could be asked in an intriguing way. Maybe they're disgusted. Either way,
It's supposed to get people to think a little bit.
Yeah, like, who are these ladies? There's nobody knows who they are. But then, yeah, like, I love saying, who is she? Pumps me up.
I know. I think their idea will hopefully transform with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, hopefully, like, right now, it's kind of, we're the who are they vibe. But
right.
Hopefully one day it's going to be like, oh, who are they?
Right. Yeah. So that was kind of our idea behind the name. And the idea for the podcast really is to just like, I don't know, share from our life, our fun stories, I think, and have fun and laugh.
Yeah. I mean, as you learn, we used to live together in college, and now we live far away. Abby lives in Michigan, and I'm all the way in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
So this is also our chance to kind of just catch up with each other. We love holding these microphones. We're just going to catch each other up on our daily lives. We've got lots of funny stories that we've experienced together and separately.
Yeah.
I don't know how much advice we have to offer, but maybe a little bit.
Right. Well, seeing this is our first podcast, our catch up this week, I feel like is going to be a little bit boring, only because we've been talking so much to try to set this whole thing up. My like news, I guess, is that I leave tomorrow to go to Passion down in Georgia.
Oh,
so I know. So
are you going to be passing through here?
No, I'm flying.
Okay.
I know. So I'm going with another one of my friends that was in college with us. Her name is Lori. So we're going to be down there together for half the week, and I'll be able to fill you in next time on like how it went and everything. I have anxiety when it comes to airports and traveling. So
Yeah.
in the future episodes,
new cities.
well, yeah, I can share future episodes about like what's happened in airports to me. But yeah.
Well, I just remember anytime we'd go to a new town in college, you would like have to look up the roadways before we'd go because you were
I'd
so
freak
nervous to
out.
drive.
One time,
So I'm proud of you.
I was gonna tell a funny thing. Should I?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to. One time, it was the first time I was going to visit my ex-boyfriend at his house, and I was so nervous to go there that I had looked up like how to get there. Right, I had that figured out, but I get really nervous about like where I'm gonna park when I go places. So we got to cut this out because I actually don't want to tell this story. Because, dude, I looked up on Google Street Mode his house.
That's not that weird. Yeah, it's a little bit weird. I've never done that. Usually I'm just like, I'll find parking when I get there.
Well, thanks for telling me it wasn't that weird.
No, I think that's fine story.
Okay, well, maybe it'll stay in there. I don't know.
But, you know, that makes me really proud that you're going.
Thank you. I've grown. Anyways, what's new with you?
What's new with me? Well, tomorrow I go back to work.
Tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow.
Shut up. I thought you had longer time.
No. So Abby and I are both teachers, and my Christmas break ends tomorrow. But I've been off for like 3 weeks. We had a really long break, so I have not worked in a long time. But it's just professional development, so it's going to be fine. I'm going into it chill, don't have the Sunday scaries, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like I just spent the last 2 weeks really doing boring things. I opened a new bank account at a local bank.
Good for you.
Yeah, thank you. I went to the doctor's. I got my hair cut.
But
all the
I
things I
would
can't do
say-
in the school year.
Yeah, I was going to say, as a teacher, I feel like as soon as you get free time, it's like you have to just like lay on your couch and do nothing or like watch things.
Oh,
or,
and
like,
I
just
spent
chill.
a few days doing that. Oh,
Yeah.
Jacob and I, he's my boyfriend, are in the middle of watching the Harry Potter movies.
Oh, I've only watched a few of them.
So we're 4 of them in, so we're going to continue that.
Okay, nice.
But yeah, I had a really great Christmas. I don't know if this is an update. I finally gave in and got a Stanley Cup
Oh, you did? I have a
for
fake
Christmas.
one.
Yeah, one of my students got me a fake one for Christmas, so I'll definitely be carrying it around.
Yeah.
Because it's really sweet. But then I got a real one, so
It's
I have
nice.
to carry that one too.
You can leave one at school though, or at work. You
Oh,
know,
that's a good idea.
that's what I do.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you have anything more to share?
I don't have a lot this week.
Yeah. Okay. So now the next part of our podcast we think is probably almost the most fun.
Okay. So the next segment we're going to do it every week. And it's called On This Day in History. And for at least our first season, it's going to involve both of us. But then we might branch into like, it's something one of us journaled a long time ago or something. And Abby's an avid journaler. So she has basically our whole friendship written down.
Oh, I have, and I can't quite remember exactly what I'm on right now, but I think I'm on Journal 33. I've been doing it since 2009. So people, we got all the goods.
We have all of it. So every week we're going to trade. This week, Abby had to pick a This Day in History. And next week, I'll have to pick it. And the other person's going to blind react to the memory or something that happened. And it's not necessarily this day. It had to happen like in the week because we have so much to share.
So that memory will have happened within the week that you're going to listen to the podcast. And it's just going to be fun because one of us will know it beforehand and the other one won't, to get a more genuine thought from the other person. So I'm going to go ahead and share mine.
Oh, and before you get started, everything that we talk about on the podcast is also going to be posted on our Instagram page.
Yeah.
So, like, if we show a video or we show a picture, you might only hear the audio or hear us talk about it on here. But if you go to our Instagram page, which is who with a 0 for the O _R _they _. All of the other who are theys are taken, okay? So that is our username. If you go there, you can see any video we show, any picture we show, and we'll also do other little updates, but you should go check that out. So this video that Ivy's going to show me today, I have not seen it yet. I'm a little bit
A long
nervous.
time ago. A long
How
time
long
ago
ago?
you've seen this.
Oh, okay.
This was, I'm trying to find it right now. I know I have it in my favorites. I'm going to text it to you so that you can watch it and then react. But this happened as soon as I find it. I could have chosen one that happened at the very beginning of our friendship, which would go with our theme of today. But I thought it was much more boring than this other option. So I believe
We
this
started
happened.
out strong.
Yeah, this happened in January of 2020. I won't say anything about it. Okay, I'm gonna let you.
Oh, I get a total surprise.
React as soon as you have seen it. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I almost watched this the other day. I was going through our shared our memories, and I saw this video. I was like, "What is this?" But I thought we were singing "Princess and the Pauper" in this.
Me too. Before I watched it.
Okay, I'm gonna hold it. You tell me how much you can hear.
Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day.
Okay, let me pause this right now because you can tell I know none of the words to this song, but I'm trying really hard.
Really? I didn't
You're
pick
the
that up when I
only
watched
one
it.
that's singing here, and I'm
Oh.
just moving. And I think I know the chorus, but I don't.
You
know the
must
rest
have
of it.
faked it well.
So we're just kind of dancing on this couch, which is something we used to do a lot in college.
Not a lot. Okay.
Often, more than the average amount. We would turn on loud music and we would dance. Anyways, we're gonna keep going.
Sounds crazy. Think the same, lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, brightest colors fill my head.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I accidentally turned it off. Okay, so
I think you've watched enough.
I think that was definitely enough. Anyways, so yes, we're singing A Million Dreams. You can tell when I actually do learn the words and start going off. But so we're just on opposite arms of the couch when this starts, staring at each other. Someone else is obviously in the room because they're recording us.
I think it was one of our roommates, and we didn't ask her to record. I remember halfway through realizing she was recording, and then of course playing it up a little bit more.
Right, because then we wanted, for the attention.
Right.
But then when it really picks up and we start singing and dancing together, the funny part about that is, golly, we used to just have a good time. This is looks like the morning.
I don't. Yeah.
It looks like we woke up and chose to do this. And this video is, I'm not going to play the whole thing. But this video itself is, golly, how long?
Oh, it's over 2 minutes.
It's over 2 minutes long of us singing this entire song.
But what I love about it is that, one, it's just us being us. But two, you said this before about how you thought we were singing Princess and the Pauper here. And to be honest, before I watched it, I thought that too. In college, Bailey and I used to listen to the Barbie songs from Princess and the Pauper and sing them. I mean, that was mostly what we sang.
Yeah, we would just turn it on YouTube or something.
I don't mean mostly as in we did this really often. I mean, we probably did this, 5 times over our course of living together?
Right.
Which
So
was
it's
a
not
year and a half, I
We
think.
didn't do it every day. We weren't like that.
We're not freaks.
But we did it enough.
We are actually kind of freaks, but not like...
And there's a picture with it. That's just kind of a still shot of us really getting into the singing. And this time we're only singing. We're singing, but we're just looking at my phone for the lyrics or something.
Oh. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not looking at it right now, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was a good start to our On This Day in History.
Thank you. I think it jumps us into a lot of questions, probably, because Who
are they?
Right, exactly. But also because we've now talked about living together, we've talked about the things we used to always do together. But as per the topic of this podcast number 1, we need to just fill in, how did we meet? What were their first impressions of each other? How did they end up living together? How were they so close? Right? We both have a lot of thoughts and things on this and think it's kind of a funny story.
Yes. Yes, we do.
I think personally, maybe we should start with how we met, and then we can like back up and give some background after.
Okay, because there are a lot of like things that happened beforehand that are really actually quite strange.
But let's just start. Why don't
Like-
you just start with like the day itself that we met?
The day, to be honest, I don't remember like meeting you exactly. Like
Oh,
that
I don't
day. I
either.
don't remember. I don't remember the whole day. I do remember when people are like, "Okay, this girl is going to be moving into our house in second semester," and I was like, actually pretty nervous because I was like, we get along really well, and this girl's just going to move in halfway through the school year. I hope she's not a
Just
freak.
pause. We lived in a house that was associated with our church in college.
Yes.
So it was a bunch of girls that went through this church. I was moving from out of town, had heard about this house from other people, and just applied without knowing anybody, and somehow decided to do that.
Which actually a lot of us had done that this year.
Yeah.
Or that year. I didn't go to the school. I applied to go live in this house without ever going to the school. So
Yeah.
there were like 4 or 5 of us that did that, and we were
Which
getting
was
along
not
really
common.
well. No, usually it's girls that have gone to the school, they've gone to the church. So it was like a really good year to start and do that. But I remember them saying like, we're getting this new girl. And so I remember I looked you up on Facebook
Stop.
to like see your vibe, because people are like, oh, we're from the same hometown.
Yeah.
So we at one point had gone to the same church. But I
Oh
think
my
we
gosh, I
missed each
forgot
other.
about that.
Yeah. So one of my other roommates was like, who was also from our hometown, that we also didn't really meet until we lived in the house. We didn't go to school that far from home. But she was like, yeah, she used to go to church with us. So I looked you up, and to be honest, can I tell you what your profile photo was? And I thought you were kind of a weird kid.
Oh, it was probably something freaky. Oh, I think I know what it was. I think I know what it was.
You're just sitting on a rock.
Oh.
But for
That's not
some
what
reason I
thought
looked at
was.
it. For some reason I looked at it and I was like, I think she's gonna be kind of weird.
I was sitting on a rock. I would think she was weird too.
I think you were just at the park and you were sitting on a rock.
That's
and I was
weird.
like, I think she might upset the vibe here.
I don't even know what that photo is, to be honest. Like in my memory, I just can't bring it up.
Yeah. So I did, you know, how you stalk all people before you meet them. But
Right.
Did a little bit of stalking of you, and I was pretty nervous. But then I do remember the first time you came to stay at our house before you even moved there. It was like the semester before. You stayed the night. Why did you stay the night?
It was because there was a retreat, and they invited me to go to some retreat so that I could get to know people. And then from that retreat, another girl that we knew that was also from our hometown, Angie, Bailey went to high school with her, and I knew her because I don't remember how I knew her, but I honestly don't. Invited me to come back and stay and see the houses and just hang out.
Oh,
And then was like,
yes.
oh, if you want to spend the night too with us, you can, so that you can like come and to church with
Was
us
this-
and like see church.
Before the retreat or after the retreat?
This was after the retreat. So the retreat was like Friday, Saturday, and then we came back to our like college that Saturday, and then I decided to stay Saturday night to Sunday.
Okay, I have a picture of us
You do?
with our housemates at the retreat.
Oh.
But I do not have any memories of you on this little retreat. So it was a retreat with all the people that lived in the campus houses. There were 3 of them at the time, and so we kind of
And
did to
there
get
was-
to know each other.
But it was also all the leaders. It wasn't just the house retreat.
Oh.
It was the leader
Well, I have a
retreat.
picture of our house, like everyone that lived in our house. We had 9 girls in our house that year. A picture of all of us, and I think we're standing near each other, but I have no memory of you being on the retreat. My memory is from the day we got back from the retreat. I remember something must have happened because I was like, I want her to be my friend. I went from thinking you were really weird, and then I was like, I want her to like me. I want her to be my friend.
I must have really turned it on.
You must have. I bet it was your laugh.
Probably.
I was like, this girl's pretty fun. Anyways, I remember like you weren't gonna move into my room, so I was like, she's gonna be friends with the girl she's moving in with. And so I had asked you that night. I was like, was this before church? The day before church?
Yeah.
Well, so we had gotten back from the retreat, and I was like, "Do you want to stay in my room?" And so you did.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't remember much of this. I just remember getting a tour of both of the houses and seeing them for the first time, even though I'd already committed to living there. And then I remember my memory is mostly just like deciding where I was going to sleep in your room and then like waking up the next morning. So yeah, I feel like you must have asked me. I don't have much of a memory.
I did, and I
meeting
remember
you.
I was like nervous. I think I like offered it up as like, oh, this is an option you could pick. Like, don't feel pressure, but like I really
Stop.
wanted you to pick.
Well, I
Stay
must have
with me.
liked you enough, and
But you picked it, but I don't think we had any other type of conversation. I feel like I was like, you want to stay in my room?
no, and it
then
was
like we didn't have any other conversation.
my memory of this like that night is so incredibly awkward because your bed was big enough that we both could have slept in it. Were we friends? We were not friends. We barely
We weren't
knew
friends,
each other.
so it would have been a little bit weird. But I also didn't have an air mattress.
No,
like-
and so Bailey ended up setting up like 3 or 4 blankets. We like laid them on the floor in the corner, mind you.
Yeah,
okay?
so
like,
my bed is in like one corner, and then she's like against the opposite wall.
I
And, like,
wish we had a picture.
She was like literally on this wall. My room was like pretty large. She could have slept in the middle of the floor anywhere, but she like scooted these blankets up right on the wall.
I swear to
that's
God,
where she
you
slept.
set them up.
Maybe.
Maybe I did. I don't know. I'm probably just trying to blame you.
But did we even put any type of cushion for you?
No, it was literally I slept on top of a few blankets, and I remember that night texting my friend Tim and saying, because I knew we were going to go to church in the morning, and I remember saying, Tim, please come to church with me tomorrow, please, because I was uncomfortable, and like,
Well, once you were in there, I was uncomfortable too.
yeah, because it was just as in what were we going to talk about? We just met.
We didn't talk. I think we just went to bed.
We did.
And then the next morning, when I woke up, you were still sleeping on the floor.
I
we
don't
weren't
think
friends.
I was really sleeping.
Were you awake?
Probably.
Okay, so I thought you were sleeping on the floor, so I like tiptoed. I had like a little bit of a walk-in closet, kind of.
No,
Like, it
it's
was a
big enough.
long closet.
You can
Yeah,
walk
you can
in there
walk
for
in.
sure.
It's like a long closet. But I went in there and I like grabbed my clothes
She went in
and
there
I-
for a long time.
and I was nervous I was gonna wake her up, but I was like changing in the closet because like we weren't friends, so I was like in the closet, but there was also no door on my closet, so I was in like pressed up against the back of my closet so that you wouldn't see me. And I like got completely ready for church and then left without saying a single thing to you.
Yeah.
I don't think
But-
I even said good morning.
I will say after this, I pulled up that weekend in my journal what I had written down, okay?
Okay.
So I wrote down that I went to his house leaders retreat, was super nervous. I went Friday night. We stayed at a church till Saturday, and I met a bunch of people and really enjoyed them. So I probably enjoyed
Okay.
you.
Hopefully.
Then I got invited to come stay over at the women's house for the night and then to come to church after. I slept on the floor in Bailey's room last night. That's what I wrote. And then I said, I really like her.
Oh, so that's
So-
good.
So
So something good
yeah.
happened there.
something happened that in my memory, like all it is super awkward, but like something
Yeah.
good happened. Anyways, that's the beginning of us meeting or like our actual first like encounters with each other. But I think some of the like funnier moments or like more like craziness is like before we even met because
Right.
we met in August of 2018.
Right. It was
Officially.
both of our first semesters at our college.
Yeah. But I think, it just is. Oh my gosh, what just happened to my voice? I think I need to drink a water. Okay.
Oh, do you like those water bottles?
Yeah, I do.
People at work.
It's an Awala water bottle. If you can't see me, by the way. But anyways, it's crazy to me that we didn't meet before we did. So Bailey and I both grew up in the same. Well, yeah, both grew up in the same town. My
Which is
grandparents
not a very
lived
big
there.
town.
No, and we went to 2 different high schools. But we then went to the same community college.
Right. And we went to the same church for a while.
Oh, yeah, we did. I forgot about that part. And the crazy part to me, though, is not necessarily church. Like, I didn't realize that. But the crazy part to me is that we went to the same community college. And as we've talked about it, we had some of the same friends. And I say loosely friends because, like, I wasn't really friends with them. But,
Yeah,
like,
but
I
they're
sat by them
people
in
I'd
class.
gone to high school with, and we went to community college together. And I would sit with them, like, every day I was at school. And they had just gotten done going to class with you.
Yeah, I had math class with them. Can I jump into this whole story, please?
Absolutely.
Okay. So let me just get ready. I gotta get situated in my seat. Okay. This is my favorite story before Bailey and I met, but like that, but that totally connects us. Okay. So we're at our college, community college. We both went. I went there for a year and a half. You went there for a year, right? Okay. So I'm in this math class where Bailey's friends from high school are, and I remember there was this kid in that class that I knew of because he had sort of talked to my cousin that summer, or like, I don't know, when we were both, she's my age, when we were both seniors in high school, because he was also from our hometown. And I just remember they had like hung out once or twice, and he had really, really wanted to talk to her. And she was like, I'm just not that interested. So I was like trying to avoid him. And so I quickly could tell like that he really wanted to talk to me, and not in like a nice way. Like, I felt creeped out. So this guy's name that we call him is Creepy. And so was trying to talk to me, and maybe his intentions were so good or like sweet, but like I was creeped out. And so I quickly went up to Bailey's friends. I think I recognized one of them. His name was Aaron from our church. And I had never met this person, never knew them. But I said, right after class, I ran right up to him and I go, oh my gosh, hi, I think you go to my church. And then I just like started.
You're just trying to
chit-chatting.
avoid,
Oh,
right?
100%. I know at one point I did end up having to talk to him when we walked out of class one day. But I avoided it for a very long time because I started sitting by Bailey's friends and would always talk to them as soon as I got into the classroom until I walked out of the classroom as much as possible. But creeping got weirder because throughout that semester, he like kept trying to talk to me, but then he tried to friend me on Facebook. And I was naive. And I let him friend me, and then he messaged me. And this is almost like bad on me because I was so like, I never had a boyfriend, never had boys like, well, I'd had boys talk to me when I was like 12, okay? But like, you're so young, you know? I just was not.
Right. You're not even close to dating yet. So it's like.
Right. So this point being in college was just like, I don't know. Anyways, he messages me. I'm going to read these messages just because I think they're so funny. Good. So, his first message was, hey, are you busy this weekend? From that message, like now in my life, I know that like, I know what that's asking. Okay.
Right.
But like then I had no clue.
How old were you here?
Oh, what? It was 2017. So I was probably 18.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
I don't even want to read what I wrote. I basically was like, I'm not really sure. And of course, I was like, I have to check with my mom because I still lived at home. And that's always your excuse when you live at home is like, I'm going to check with my mom because she has to like tell me if we have any plans. Right. And then I go, why? What were you thinking? And his response is what gets me every time. He writes, I was thinking maybe.
Sorry, I just remembered.
Okay, hold your laughter.
Okay.
He goes, I was thinking maybe we could go for a cruise in my Camaro before it goes away for the winter and get dinner somewhere. What kind of food do you like? And I'm sorry, but I had talked to this boy once, maybe, and tried to avoid him all semester long. And I'm sorry, but you want me to go get into your car,
No,
go
you're cruising
drive-
in it.
yeah, and cruise out who knows where, and then
What a flex to just be like, cruising my Camaro.
right, and then he assumes I want to get food with him too. Like, you didn't even ask me. I didn't even respond if I wanted to go with you or not. And so it just creeped me out. And I just thought, like, this man, if I was going to get in a car with a random stranger, he was going to take me out to a field and murder me. and like he could have been so nice and everything. He really probably was. I don't know, because I avoided him. But I did look on his like Instagram at one point, or Facebook, I don't even remember, and there were guns on there.
That's part of my story.
Yeah, okay. So anyways, that was my interaction with him, and then we ended that class. And actually, after we did end in that class, he did follow me around Delta one time.
Ugh.
But then you also had encounters with him.
Right. So when Abby and I found out, did we find out pretty quickly we both had encounters with Lynn?
I loved telling the creepy story, and I still do, just because I think it's funny.
To be honest, I think it's one of the things that really connected us.
Probably.
And I think it's one of the reasons we're friends.
Yeah.
So I did not have a clash with creepy, but I worked at our local community center that was near the school. And so I would go to the gym there. And one day I'm in the gym. You know, people come up to you at the gym. They ask you weird stuff sometimes. But this kid comes up to me and he goes, "Do I know you?" And I was like, no. And then he like persists. He's like, "Yeah, I think we have a class together." I'm like, "I don't think so, buddy." So but he was like packing up to leave and I was like dropping my stuff off. And so I was like, okay, he's going to leave. And then later I do my workout and then I'm going into there's like a little private room where I was the only one in there. It's really tiny. People do like stretches in there. And I'm in there by myself doing stretches and then I hear the door open. So I was like, first of all, I thought you left. So I was instantly creeped out, especially because he didn't back down when he was like, "Yeah, I know you." It's like, "No, you don't." And so we're doing our own little thing. We were in there for like 5 minutes before he says anything. And then he like turns to me and he goes, "You should join my club at school." And I was like, "How do you know that we go to the same school?" Because I didn't share that information. And two, I was like, "What kind of club?" I was curious. It's his gun club. I did not join his club. So after that, I think he just got up and left. And then I didn't see him, but I would see him around school sometimes. And I would go the opposite direction because creepy was very creepy. But those situations really bonded us.
They really did. I don't remember when we really started to become really close, but I know that story definitely helped us.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there anything else you think that we need to talk about with like how we met?
I don't think so. I feel like, we met at school after we both had moved out for the first time. We should have known each other beforehand because we had
Way
so
more.
many mutual friends.
Yeah.
Like, that was the thing. Like, there were so many people that we both knew, but we just had never met each other.
We both ended up, your best friend through middle school and high school was the one that convinced me to come move into the house. And I knew her separately through like a Bible study.
Right. And this girl that invited her, we had been best friends since literally the second grade. Yet I had never met Abby.
Yeah.
So that was also crazy.
Anyway,
And here we are today. It's 2024.
Yeah. The first day of 2024.
The first
for
day of
us.
2024. So,
All right. Well, in the future, I guess we'll keep sharing more of our fun stories and more of like how our friendship kind of grew. But this was just the beginning of how we met.
yeah.
And
We kind of wanted you guys to get to know us a little bit.
yeah.
How we became friends. So that we can move forward. You have to know this before we can do anything else.
Right.
Right. Because who are they? You're getting to know us.
Yeah.
And how we became to be here.
Who are they? Now you know.
And
a little
now
bit more.
it's not as big of a question anymore. Now it's kind of like, who are they? Like, you're getting there.
You gotta stop. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Also, if you're not just here to giggle and laugh with us, then there's not really a point to listen because that's kind of what we're here to do, honestly. Anyways, we never talked about how to end this.
No, I feel like, are we going to cut this part out right here?
We can, or we can just leave it in.
Okay. Well, I think to end it, we just kind of say we'll be here every Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to upload a podcast every Tuesday. So please tune in. Hopefully it's up first thing in the morning. That's our goal.
Right.
And we've decided on Tuesday because I think Tuesday's the worst day of the week. So it's a little pep in your step, you know? It's not Monday. You don't have the energy and you're nowhere near the weekend.
Right. So tune in every Tuesday. Follow our Instagram.
Right. Our
Bailey-
Instagram at WH0_R_they_. Go follow it and you'll see the video. The video we talked about today in our Today in History will be on the Instagram. So if you want to watch that, please do so.
Yeah.
It'll make the On This Day in History make so much more sense.
Right.
And you'll kind of get to know us. I can also post the photo of us from retreat.
Oh, yeah. Please do, because I would like to see that.
Yes. So yeah, we'll be here next week. We also have the live show of this up on YouTube.
Yeah.
We probably should have said that at the beginning so you could have watched it.
Yeah,
But
maybe I can put that
now-
in the intro.
You know that our video is on YouTube, so you can watch it live there. Again, our handle is the same as our Instagram handle. We tried to keep it the same everywhere so you could find us, but we had to make it a little weird because, again, a lot of people, I guess, like the handle of Who Are They.
All right. Well, see you next Tuesday, folks.
See you next Tuesday.